Good morning and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration, here to inspire and motivate you and talk to you about the facts of life. Although the facts of life are formed by imagination, everything that you see that is an apparent fact today was created in the mind of man or the mind of God, whatever you choose to believe in. So today's topic is going to be online dating. There's something that was created in the mind of man. Online dating, an idea. That started with an idea and a vision. Okay, some people like online dating. There are a bunch of fakes on there. Well, guess what? Out in real life, there's a bunch of fakes there. And you gotta weed through the fakes to find the good ones, to find the fine ones. It's the same thing online. So there's certain techniques and things you can use to weed out the fakes. I've been using online dating for years, and I find it amazing that today we can meet girls all over the world, or if you're a woman, you can meet men all over the world. And I've heard of some people getting taken, but the people I've heard of that got taken were people who were, for men-wise, were giving money to someone on the other side of the world who they never even spoke to on a video. They never even saw a photo of them holding up a spoon or a peace sign to prove it was them. But sometimes people are so desperate for any kind of companionship that they will fall in for something like that. It's really not that difficult. Let's say I like to date girls out of the country. I don't specifically like to date girls in the USA. I have years ago, but girls here in the USA, women, ladies, I call them all girls, are raised to be career women, raised to be masculine. And many of them have taken on this masculine trait. I'm sure if I was a girl being raised up in this time in this country, I would probably be the same. But I don't like that. I like femininity. Okay, femininity is not a weakness, it's a strength. So I prefer to go to other countries like Latin America, South America. I find the women there to be more feminine. Now I went to the Ukraine also quite a while back, and I met a few women over there. They're hard workers, they're more feminine. It's not unusual for a woman over there in her 20s to be living with their girlfriends, working a job, go to the gym several days a week, and go to school too. They don't understand the concept of the comfort the women over here have. How you can not work here but still survive. It's very easy to do here in the U.S. with all these programs. But in these countries, the women still have a respect for men. That's where I feel like here in the USA they don't, that masculinity is downplayed a lot because we are such a safe society, or at least we feel like we are, with the police and the systems that are set up by men to protect women and children. If everything went to hell here in the U.S. and the economy fell apart and everything just crashed, these women may want a powerful, strong, what they call toxic masculine man. They would be searching for them. And the problem is here today is we don't have a lot of those guys left. I see a lot of men that are very feminine. Like I said, I like femininity. I don't necessarily like it in a man because I'm not gay. I'm not bisexual, and I'm not any of the other genders that they talk about. I'm just a man who likes women. If that's your thing, hey, go for it. I have no problem with that. Whatever you enjoy, I think everybody has the right to live their life the way they want to, as long as they're not imposing their beliefs on other people. And I've seen a lot of religions do that too. So either way, and I see some of the communities that are not heterosexual do that, to try to push their agenda on other people. And as I said, live the life the way you want to live it. I have friends that are gay, I have friends that are bisexual. To me, they're just people. But that's another topic. Okay, back to the online dating. So here's what you do. If you meet someone online, and there are a lot of beautiful girls online all over the world. And if you live here in the States, we have a lot of obesity. So if you're a guy like me and you like thin girls that are in shape, you may have to go out of the country. Now I've heard Miami and out in California, they're more body conscious, so maybe you can find a woman out there if you don't mind the masculinity aspect of women these days here in the U.S. There are still feminine women here, and there are still women here who respect men. I'm not sure where they're at, but I know they're here. Okay, so don't give up if you can't leave the country or if you can't date women from other countries. Because if you do that, there's a cultural difference too. Now, I like to go down to Colombia, and in any of the Latin American countries, they're very different when it comes to family. Their family is first, really. And of course, as a man, you want your woman to put your relationship ahead of everything. And that can be done, but it's different in those countries. They're very tight-knit with their families because the families have to stick together more. They don't have so much what they call nuclear families down there like we have up here with just the father, mother, and the children. So, but if you're talking to people from other countries, what I do and what I recommend you do is you meet them on a dating site like Colombian Cupid or Latin American Cupid for down there. Of course, in the other countries you have Ukrainian Cupid, and of course you have the sugar daddy sites, which actually most, if not, I won't say all, most of the beautiful women are on those sites because they're looking for a man. There are women on there just looking for money, but most of the women on there are looking for a man that can do things for them, support them better than the men they're around or the men that they're used to. So they're looking for successful men. There's one site called SA. Okay, it's seeking arrangement. Now, if you stop and think about it, everything is an arrangement. My daughter's 14, and I'll guarantee you, I want her to go out with somebody when she gets older, or even now, somebody who comes from a family that has something. Do I want her going out with the guy that, their mom and dad live in a trailer park, his dad's a drug addict, he can't hold a job down? No, I really don't want her being with a guy like that, because the chances of the boy she's going out with being like her father are really pretty good. So I want her to be with a successful man, someone who can provide for her and her children if she decides to have them. Okay, so all women are looking for a man with money, if you want to look at it that way. Now, that's not the only thing they're looking for, but that has a hell of a lot to do with it, what they can provide for the woman. Men are desired for what they can do for other people, for what they can do for their wife and their family. That's the way it's been for centuries. It's not going to change overnight just because we have some women here in the U.S. that are making money as men are, or they can support themselves. Few women in the U.S. can actually support themselves without the help of a man or the system, the government, or the man, which is the government. Very few can do that. Okay, I've raised these 6 kids by myself for the last 10 years. And I have a business and I work a lot, but I love what I do. Few women can do that without being on government welfare, DFS, housing, and all these things. I have probably, I don't know how many people in my neighborhood that are on that, women with kids and no fathers. So contrary to what they may believe here, most women here also need a man too, but they prefer to use the man, the government, to support them rather than having a man. So, but in other countries, they still realize that they need men, as they do here, but here we don't realize it as much. So they have more respect for a man. They know that men like feminine women. They know that men like women who take care of themselves. And that's something else here we have in the States, is women don't take care of themselves like they used to, maybe when I was younger. In my time, we did not have a lot of obesity. The women, like my mother, and I've said this before, would go to the beauty shop once a week. They all wore skirts and slacks. They wore makeup when they went out. I'd say 95% of them did. Now it's a lot different. Very seldom. I live in a rural community. Very seldom do I see any women dressed up. And if they are, they're usually not from around here. They live in the city or work in the city in St. Louis. So. But back to the online dating, what you do, if they're starting to talk to you, let's say you're talking to someone, you get them off the site, usually I get them on WhatsApp. I talk to them there. The first thing I do is I say, send me some photos of yourself here so I can see what you look like. Okay, if they cooperate with that, then we move on. If they don't, then I'm done with them. Because what they look like on the dating site and what they look like on a WhatsApp photo or a real-time photo sometimes is night and day. They use these filters, they're dressed up, they have makeup on. So that's the end of it right there for a lot of them. But if they pass that test, then I talk a little bit, not a lot. I ask them to send me a photo with them holding a spoon or doing the peace sign. And if they do that, then they're compliant, and I continue to speak to them. Okay, then I know it's them, and I say, do you want me to send you something? Most of the time they don't. So we talk there, and then I will move to a video call. I don't spend a lot of time talking here. I decide if I like them and if I want to go see them. Then I ask for a video call. I just met a girl the other night. I met her online on the site. I got her WhatsApp number. We only had 2 or 3 sentences. I sent her a message on WhatsApp and I said, I want to talk to you here in person, FaceTime. Okay, now she hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'll hear back from her today. Okay, and when she does, I'll set up a time, maybe this afternoon, and I'll talk to her on FaceTime. If I like her, because it's really hard to get someone's personality. I mean, this girl's beautiful. There are so many beautiful girls out there. There really is in the world. And I'll tell you what, there's a commodity, there's an overabundance of beautiful women in the world. But there isn't very many high-value men that can travel anywhere in the world to take these girls out. Okay, and they just want to be with a guy that can take them to a nice restaurant or maybe take them to an island and have a good, they just want to have fun. Like all the girls up here, they want to have fun, okay? They want to have a good time. And I've done this several times, and beautiful girls. I mean, I met the first girl I met online like that. She met me in Aruba. She was from Colombia. We just talked online. They're not as afraid as the American women. These American women, sometimes they won't meet me in a restaurant for coffee. It's like, well, I don't know you very well. Well, how are you ever going to get to know me if we don't meet somewhere? I mean, what can happen at a Starbucks? But they're very afraid here too. At least that's what I've experienced. Now, maybe you have a different experience. But girls from other countries will just get on a plane and go and meet you somewhere. If you're not a weirdo or something, you have to have some, I don't know what, some common sense, or you got to have a little suave or something. But it's really not too difficult. I don't say too much to them. I don't talk about how beautiful they are. I don't say anything like that. But they're looking for guys who are just not going to talk all day. You don't get on there and talk all day. If you're a man, you're direct. You get straight to the point. Hey, what's up? I usually don't say, like I said, I don't tell them they're beautiful or anything like that, because you hear that crap all the time. This girl did send me a photo back because I said, hey, I can't see your body. I always tell them I want to see your body. Take a photo of yourself in front of the mirror so I can see your body. Now, don't be afraid to do that, because if you were in person, you wouldn't have to do that. So if they send me a photo back like that, that's what I failed to mention before, was another step I take, and I like it. I usually say, preferably in a swimsuit. Now, I specify that I want them to have clothes on, because many guys are asking for nudes and this and that, and they get tired of that. I don't want nudes. I prefer to wait and see her in person if I want to see her nude. Okay, so this girl, she sent me that. She looked good. I said, sexy photo or something like that. But that's as close to a compliment as I usually get. Okay, and she thanked me, and I sent her my private photos, which were on the site, and she said, you're hot too. I didn't say thank you. I don't thank girls for things. Very rarely do I. Men, I will say please or thank you, but women, I do not. I seem to get more respect from women when I don't thank them for things. Sometimes I even say, yes, when they say you're hot or you're really good looking, I say, yes, I've been told that all my life. And I have. Okay, because I believe I am. Doesn't matter what you think, but it does matter about me, but it does matter what you think about you. Nobody's going to believe you're a 10 if you don't believe you're a 10. Ask Sporty Fortune about that. He's another creator, a dating expert who really has got some good stuff. You can check him out at Team Fortune, Sporty Fortune. Okay? But you got to believe in yourself. Okay? If you believe you're a 10, you will become that. You have to what's the word I'm looking for? Convince. You have to convince yourself that you're a 10. And when you do that, people will start acting that way towards you. I'm 61 years old. I still have girls, as I've said before, underage girls who I don't date, tell me how attractive I am. They'll tell my sons, they'll tell my daughter, man, your dad's hot. And it's like, what's up with that? But hey, I know what's up with it, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it builds my ego, okay? We all got an ego. It all likes to be fed. Mine likes to be fed like everyone else's, so yours can be fed too. But first, you have to convince yourself you are what you desire to be. And we've spoken about that before by getting in front of the mirror, doing affirmations, And then the action, of course, going to the gym, working out, get into a contact sport, get punched in the face, get out from behind that damn computer screen, quit spending your whole day on that phone, get out there and have some real life interaction, okay? So I got to quit. I got to go to work today. And yesterday I was on the job. We were bidding this big job and we met this lady. Here's a good example right here. She's a singer, a professional singer, I believe, and they have a radio station. Okay, and she was there. She's not a bad looking woman. And she told me, she said, "You look like a rock star." And I'm like, "Well, I don't have long hair." "No, but you really look like a rock star." I said, "Okay." Well, I didn't thank her for that, but it made me feel good, of course. Someone tells you look like a rock star, and it was a compliment. It wasn't a cut down. So she really meant it, and so things like that happen to me all the time, and I of course enjoy it. Like I said, I have an ego. We all have an ego. The ego is not a bad thing unless it gets out of control. If you go looking for those types of things, you'll never find them. But if you just allow them to come into your life, and these things also increase your confidence and actually build like a snowball going down a hill. The more you tell yourself you are these things, then the more these things happen or manifested in the outer world to prove to you that you are becoming who you want to become. But you have to believe it, as I've said. You have to believe it to receive it. I get on the pulpit here and start the pulpit or the behind the podium and start preaching to you. But it's so true. You just have to believe, and you have to make yourself believe. Think about this. This current health crisis situation, everywhere you go, there are billboards, there are signs promoting you to go out and take the action they want you to take to prevent yourself from getting this the sickness. Okay, even in Walmart, in different stores, in the background, they have the thing on a low volume telling you to you can get your prevention over here, and protect your friends, protect yourself and your family, and all these things. 24 hours a day, this stuff is going on. On social media, you'll see a lot of advertisements for the promoting this current health crisis. I'll say promoting you to do whatever they want you to do, whatever their agenda is. And this is a constant thing. And this is the same thing that Hitler used during World War II. He constantly had the speakers going in the streets. Over 24 hours a day, he had propaganda going, had all these things going over and over and over again. And the people came to believe that they were the superior race of the world. Okay, and you see what happened there, don't you? I'm not saying that this is that, but it's the same technique. I'm not saying the current health situation is not the same motivation or the same, seeking the same end that Hitler did, but I'm saying it's the same technique. It's the over and over repetition of the same thing over and over, day after day, month after month, and even year after year. And people come to believe that. I relate it to, like, have you ever heard a song that you really hate? Okay. I mean, it's like it comes on the radio, you shut it off. And then a month or two later, you catch yourself singing that song, even though you hate it. Those things get in your subconscious mind. You cannot stop them unless you completely ignore them and put other thoughts in there when you hear these thoughts. I remember I was going out with a girl from South America, and she would always say blah blah blah, and I hated that. It's like, jeez, I hate that. And I'll be damned if I didn't find myself 2 months later saying the same thing. I know that's how it works, because I was around her, and of course I had feelings for her. So, and that was even worse because I had an emotion involved with what she was saying, which was, I don't like that. But sometimes you become, or many times you become what you hate, or you become what you love. So I hated that, and I found myself doing the very same thing. But the good side of this is you can use that same principle to convince yourself, if you say it over and over, that you are the man you desire to be now. Okay, that's all I got time for today. Like and subscribe, and if you'd like to get my help personally, marksinspiration.com. Have a great day.